Sounds like it's a 3/4 time, maybe 12/8. Well, that was a little bizarre. So this one is episode 20.3. And that was some sort of a jazz drummer, but playing in 12/8 timing. Not something you ordinarily do, and not something you can count. But fortunately, by making things up, it's hard to tell what's happening. So I took a samba and I changed it into a 12/8 timing thing. Okay, this topic, 20.3, is called turtle time. And what turtle time is, after being a hare for almost my whole life and running ahead of everybody else and then stopping and taking a nap and then getting passed by everybody else because I was taking a nap, you know, about the turtle and the hare. Well, now that I'm in my 70s, I've decided maybe I should be a turtle instead of a hare and slow down. And the few times in life when I slowed down, I seem to have gotten further than when I went as fast as I could. So let me give you one example. When I started college in 1970, the City University of New York decided to try something called open enrollment. They decided that everybody who got a high school diploma should be allowed into college. And they allowed a lot of people into college, and it was a well-meaning exercise. But it didn't always work that well. So I was a physics major and a music major. And the freshman year, there were 100 physics majors, because they let everybody in. They didn't actually find out if they could do math or not, which could be a problem for physics. When I graduated, I got the only Bachelor of Science in the whole school, and one other guy who was going to med school got a Bachelor of Arts in physics. The other 98 either dropped out or changed their major. It didn't turn out that that was a really good shortcut. Hey, let's let everybody in, and then everybody will catch up. They didn't. The physics faculty, when told by the president of the college, you have to, give more A's out and let more people graduate, they all said, we didn't get a PhD in physics to let people who can't even do arithmetic get a degree in physics. They refused to allow the system to do the shortcut of trying to be the hare. They forced the system back into turtle time. And they didn't let me move ahead more quickly either. I still had to take all the courses, to have the prerequisites, to take the advanced electives. And by the time I was a senior, there wasn't anybody else in the school who had the prerequisites to take the electives, because I was the only one who was enough of a turtle to go through all the courses. So in my senior year, all of my physics courses, I was the only one in the class because I was a turtle. So let me give you an example of the turtleness of this. I was the very first reader as a kid. I could read 100 pages in a novel, 100 pages of fiction in an hour. And then I started taking these physics courses. And I was only able to read 1 page in an hour, not 100, 1. It was 100 times slower. That's why 98 people dropped out. Who was willing to spend an hour reading a page. You can't even remember what the beginning of the page was about by the time you get to the end, so then you have to go back and read it like a million times. That was the first time I discovered that being a turtle actually made sense, because I tried to read the physics books at 100 pages an hour too, and got like 34 in the exams. I had to slow way, way, way down. And the net result of that was I was the only one who got a Bachelor's of Science in Physics. So somehow in life I sped up and sped up and sped up after I got out of school. And now as I'm getting older, I'm realizing, wait a minute, there was a time that you were a turtle and you actually got a lot of stuff done. In fact, there may be no shortcut at all to do really complicated, hard things. You might have to be a turtle to do it. I mean, only a turtle would be willing to play a jazz waltz in 12/8 timing at, what is the tempo of this? 110 beats per minute. Boy, this is faster. The reggae was 80, the funk was 65. This is 110. It's way faster, but doesn't it sound slow? Why is that? Well, the 12/8 timing is a beat an eighth note instead of a quarter note. I don't know, but I know that it's kind of a challenge to do, and I have to go back into turtle mode. I see, I'm playing quarter notes on the bass, but the drummer's playing eighth notes on the cymbal. But my right hand is playing more like 16th notes.